Welcome. My name's Annette Garsteck, and my passion is helping ambitious women land their dream job and advance their career in corporate America. I'm so very glad you found me today. This is the kickoff video for the series on the top resume mistakes that you can avoid. I have hired quite a lot of people across my first career in corporate America. And I have seen these resume mistakes over and over and over again. Sometimes these mistakes will mean that the recruiting professional will pass by your resume, and worse, it means that even if somebody does see your resume, they're not going to pass you on to the hiring manager or schedule you for an interview. And the goal of the resume is to get you an interview so that you can get hired. All right, let's get started. So the number one mistake that I see on resumes all the time, I wish I had a drum roll please, is your email address. I know, is that kind of a letdown or what? Email addresses are one of those things that is so easy to overlook because you've probably had it for years. Let's talk a little more about it. Your email address is one of those pieces of information that will brand you in the mind of the hiring manager or the recruiter in the few seconds that they have to look at your resume. You'll want the hiring professionals to have a positive impression of you. The most common email address don'ts that I see are as follows. I have like 5 of them. So the first one is an unprofessional username. So the username is the part of your email address before the @ sign. And I would say it's where people make the biggest errors. So do not use anything that is suggestive, cutesy, maybe that has too much personal information. So things like curvygirl@gmail.com, brown-eyed girl @gmail.com, mom of twins @gmail.com. All big no-nos. I would also skip usernames that show any political or religious affiliation. You don't want to use your pet's name, and other user names to avoid would be things that talk about your hobbies, like all day long I dream about golf @gmail.com or all day I craft @icloud.com. You'll want to skip those kinds of things. Those are funny personal emails. They're not emails for your resume. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe I'm gonna have to tell you this next don't. Using your current work email. Don't do it. Not professional. The third don't that you'll want to skip when it comes to your resume is including significant numbers. So for example, I would not include your birth year. I would not include your age. Those numbers are good for a personal email, but when it comes to getting hired in at a new job, somebody could use that information, whether or not they know they have a bias against someone that may be of a certain age, young or old. They might not hire you or put you through the process. So why even give them that opportunity? Another don't is using a shared email address. You don't want to have like a couple's email address, like Jim and Heather Jones @gmail.com, or maybe like a family email box, like the Jones family 2020 @icloud.com. The thing about a job search is the recruiter or the hiring manager is going to consider it a one-on-one transaction between you and them. So when you have a shared email box, or even just the impression of a shared email box, it could be a turnoff. You don't want to give the impression that your job search isn't secure or confidential. And the hiring manager wants to know who they're speaking to when they would email you. Another don't in your email address for your resume is a dated domain host ending. So the domain host is what comes after your username. So what comes after the @ sign in your email address. So things like AOL.com, Prodigy.net, SBCglobal.net. What else did I come up with? Roadrunner.com. Any internet service provider that is from the dial-up age, you can leave them behind. And anyone that is an internet service provider email address. So something like Spectrum, Roadrunner used to be Spectrum or Time Warner. You want to disregard those in lieu of something more modern and updated. Right or wrong, the recruiting professional could have concerns about your technology acumen just because you're using an older technology, such as the ones I stated before. If you have any of these email mistakes on your resume or multiple email mistakes on your resume, now is the time to fix them. And while you are busy making changes and addressing things that need to be fixed, I have a free download for you that can help you. This guide will help you prepare your social media profiles for your job search. It's a free guide, a free download, super easy. Go ahead and go to bit.ly/Annette Garsteck to get it. That's bit.ly/Annette Garsteck and download it today. Now, any and all of those email mistakes we just talked about can easily be fixed. 3 steps. 3 steps, and you can clean these mistakes up so easily. Number 1, create and use an email address that you create exclusively for your job search. Number 2, use an updated domain host, something like Gmail, Outlook, any of your Apple iPhone endings at Mac, at iCloud, at me.com. Those are all very acceptable and very now. And then the third and last thing that you can do to get yourself a professional resume appropriate email address is simply use your name. So for Heather Jones, she would use heatherjones@gmail.com. If that wasn't available, she could look for heather.jones@email.com or at gmail.com. If she wasn't able to locate that, she could use h.jones, or maybe heather-jones is available. One of those options is the most professional email resume address that you can use, and it will also be easily searchable. Maybe the recruiter remembers your name is Heather, but can't remember your last name. If it's there in your email address and they search their email inbox, they're likely to locate you very easily. Can you believe that fixing that resume mistake was so easy? There is so much to do when you're searching for a new job. You know, you can totally keep watching this series and go at it alone, or if you need more help, then now's the time to ask for it. I would love to offer you a free consultation and give you some knowledge that you don't have to do this all alone. So how do you do that? Go ahead and go to my website and sign up for your free consultation. It only takes a couple minutes, and that's at bit.ly/Annette Garsteck schedule. And I would love to meet with you and discuss your options. I'll also make sure that all the links we talked about today are downloaded in the description box below. Let me know in the comments, are you going to be changing your email address for your job search? Join me here next time as I break down the rest of the top resume mistakes you could be making. I'd love to hear your questions about resumes, interviewing, or your job search in general. If you could put them in the comments, I'll be sure to address them in a future video. Thank you so much again for joining me on this kickoff series, The Top Resume Mistakes You're Making, and I'll see you here next time. Bye.